This week has been hard. Flexing my ask muscle and my acceptance muscles just about did me in. And here's the thing, a lot of us have issues where it comes to asking for help and accepting the help that was offered. I know they sound like they're the same thing, but they actually flex two different muscles. And we're going to talk about it right after the intro. And welcome back to another episode of the Daily Donna with me, your host, Dr. Donna Oriowo, section relationship therapist in Washington, D.C. metro area, author of Drink Water and Mind Your Business, a Black woman's guide to unlearning the BS and healing self-esteem. The part about asking for help and accepting help, baby, these are part of the things that we have to unlearn. Black women especially, are taught that we are supposed to be able to do all things on our own, that our ability to be resilient will be displayed by how much we are able to take on our own by ourselves without help. We're told that your job is to be independent, and that being independent also means strength, that it will be a display of your abilities when you are able to do things on your own. And as it's kept, a lot of us were parentified children. A lot of us were required to do more than we should have been doing at ages where we were just a little too young to actually need to be taken on that level of responsibility. And it is hard to let that go in the here and now, whether or not we're partnered or single or what have you. Letting go and being able to say, yes, I need help, and asking, and also just accepting that someone is offering help, it's difficult. So let's go ahead and get into the difference between asking for help and accepting help, because I think these are two skill sets that we could maybe use a little shoring up with. One, asking for help. Asking for help, I know, comes with caveats, right? Because many of us have been taught that ain't nothing in this world free, which means that if you ask for something, you best believe that they're going to expect something in return. And will it be something that you can pay? Yes, some people are transactional in the way that they will give you help. I'm not going to say that they're not. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't ask for help anyway. Ask. And when they come back around, as long as they don't ask you for something that is outside of your scope to give, don't consider it transactional. Consider it as a way to build a relationship with somebody else. Right? Now, if it's one of those people that will rub that thing in your face from here to kingdom come, I definitely understand why we do not want to be asking them for anything. Self-concept. But also it flexes or can flex self-esteem. Let me cook. So self-concept, as we know, is what we know. It's what you know and everything there is to know about you. Self-esteem, on the other hand, is how you feel about you. And I think that it's under the umbrella of self-esteem, but what we're really talking about here is self-confidence. So confidence is usually related to competence. And those are the two things that really come up when it comes to asking for help. Because asking for help asks you to flex the muscles that says that I know myself. It says, I know my limitations. I know what my day looks like. I know my week looks like. I know where my energy levels are. I know what is going on with me. And I know that this thing is beyond my reach. It is beyond my time frame. It is beyond my skill set. It is beyond my body's capacity. It is beyond my mental, emotional capacity. Asking for help is flexing, right? It's flexing all over the place that you know you, and that you know when to ask for help. A lot of us, baby, I don't always know how to ask for help. Hypocritical therapist here. So I'm not even going to say a lot of us don't. I'm not going to say you don't. I'm going to say me don't. I don't always know when to ask for help. There are many things that I will try to do on my own by hook or by crook. I will try to figure that thing out so I don't need to ask anybody for anything. I just want to do it. right? I don't want to be on anyone else's timeline. I want to make things happen when I want things to happen. I like things the way I like things when I like things the way I like them. And because of that, I'm constantly moving myself beyond my capacity, beyond my limits, beyond what my body can handle in any given day or in any given hour. I'm ignoring me to get a thing done when I could have asked for help. It is a skill set and is one that I need us all to go ahead and get familiar with. So when you're looking at tasks that need to be done, consider, do you need to do all of these things? Who can you ask? Like, how much time do you have for all of this stuff to get done? And who can you ask? Right? Like, consider all of these things while you're doing this, when you're doing this piece. You don't have to do all things by yourself. Now, I know that some of you are already thinking about how you're going to bypass the ask and just hire the help. That's not what I said. Though, still, you're thinking along the right lines, but also you also don't always need to hire help. Part of being a part of a community, part of building a community, part of having friendships is that sometimes you may need to call it in to be like, hey, I need help with this thing. I have this project that I'm working on. I need to float this idea by you. I just need somebody to bounce these ideas off of and get a little bit of feedback. Half the time your friends won't actually begrudge. As a matter of fact, you might find that people are happy to help you because it makes them feel a little bit more part of your day, a little bit more part of your life, a little bit more like they're on the inside with you and not on the outside looking in, wondering why you decided to take all this stuff on your own. Because I did it all by myself is not the flex you think it is. Right? And as a matter of fact, I would ask us to sit in why we believe that to be a flex. Who is the one requiring your independence outside of the white supremacist delusion? They are always requiring you to be a little bit more independent. They will tell you that they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, and so you must do the same. And so you silence your mouth when you could have been asking for help. Here's the second piece, right? Because every now and then you get offered help and you will still say, no, I am talking to me, but I'm also talking to you. Accepting help is a very different muscle. It is not the same thing as what it looks like to ask for help. Asking for help requires you to know you. Accepting help when it is offered to you is more now about, are you able to check your ego? Are you able to reevaluate? And what is the thing that would stop you from saying yes, right? To know why you would want to do this thing on your own. And for a lot of us, it actually is ego, right? Like, we already started, we already doing something. We think something is easy. We think something is simple. So we don't want to ask, or rather, we don't want to accept the help that is being proffered to us. Mr. Boothang offered to carry some laundry down the stairs for me just because I know how and have always been taking it down the stairs by myself, because I usually do laundry during the week when nobody is here but me and the music. It does not mean that when he's here and available and offering that I should not accept help. I had to really sit in that. Like, what was the challenge about not accepting help here? And I recognize, and it's one that I noticed in my clients, it's one that I've noticed with some of my friends. It's the, I don't want to be a burden, right? It's part of the reason why we don't ask, but it's also part of the reason we don't accept. We don't want to be perceived as a burden. We don't want to feel like a burden. We don't want to take somebody out their way. We don't want to stop someone's day from doing what their day was already doing by accepting the help that takes them, that, offers them a little detour. Here's the thing though, if they couldn't afford the detour, if they couldn't afford the thing, they wouldn't have offered it. That's the thing to remember. They would not have offered it. Like, I won't offer you a ride home if I can't do it. I won't offer to come to dinner if I won't be able to make it. I won't offer to cook you nothing if I can't actually make myself do that thing. I'm not going to offer it. And we have to learn to trust people that when they offer us something, it's because they can afford to do it. Asking, like, it's one of the things that I talk about in Drink Water and Mind Your Business, right? There's a joy in no, because I know that that's also part of the reason why we don't ask for help, right? Like, we're scared of the no, we're scared of people And you know what? Sometimes we're also worried about whether or not people are going to do things to our standard. They're not. They're going to do things to their standard. They're going to do things to the best of their abilities. They're going to do things best to what their timescape is and all that jazz. And all you can do is accept what they have done. You can tell them what you want done. You can even tell them how you want it done. But ultimately, it's going to be up to them to make that thing happen or not. Right? I know that some of us we are preemptively disappointed, and so we don't even bother to ask. Meanwhile, you could also level set your expectations. If you were going to do it all yourself and somebody is offering to do something for you or with you, tell them exactly what it is that you want. Make sure that you communicate clearly and give them an opportunity to do the thing. Also, give them the opportunity to do it wrong and for you to say, I really appreciate that you did this thing, and this thing in this way. I really do appreciate it. This is not quite what I was looking for. Being able to tell somebody to ask for help and to be like, yeah, the thing that you did, I'm happy that you helped, and this is not what I was looking for, is another skill set. It's the skill set of your communication, of being able to accept help and let go of that idea that beggars can't be choosers, because that's also part of what's going on. You don't want to ask for help because you're worried about making yourself beggared, and you don't want to accept help because now you can't be choosy about how they choose to help you, about what that help looks like. And I say, forget all that. I say forget all that because it is a way for people. I feel like it's one of those things that we use to dehumanize each other. And so, because we use it to dehumanize other people, to take away the idea of choice, because they are now accepting help, that we're worried that people will take away our choices when we are also trying to accept help. You are allowed to be a choosy asker. You are allowed to ask for the thing that you want, for the thing that you need, and to be choosy about the way that that help is proffered, given, and received. You are allowed to do that. Look, independence is great, but independence can also be and tends to lean a little bit toxic, but specifically in these times where everybody is trying to prove that they can do all things on their own. You can, but why? Do things within community and you'll find that you're able to do things faster, that you're able to do things better, that they'll look better, that they'll feel better, and that you will not be run ragged by the time it is all said and done, because you would have learned and flexed that muscle of asking for help as well as accepting help when it is offered to you. All in the end, a lot of this stuff comes back to our own self-esteem and how we see ourselves. What is the story that you tell yourself about you, and what it means when you ask for help and what it means when you accept help? Right? How is your self concept changed if you move a little bit outside of your general MO and into another area? And how also how do you sort of sit with yourself? How can you still see yourself as capable while accepting the help from others? Look, let me tell you a quick story. This week I needed to pick up something from CVS. And I went to the pharmacy, but it just so happened that I got there right in time for the lunch break, which means that they wouldn't fill my prescription. They wouldn't just give it to me. It was already ready. And I was frustrated. And while I could technically have the time, what I didn't have was the patience, the energy, or the mental emotional space to try again. I was done. And so I was just like, forget it. I'll try again tomorrow. Call my mom. I just needed to rant and to rave. And she offered to pick this medicine up. Now, I want to say, my mama was talking about leaving her house 20 minutes from my house, right? 25 minutes to come over this way to get medicine that is 7 minutes from my house, to bring it to my house and then to go back to her house. And I thought, this is stupid. I'm wasting this lady's time. It's a waste of gas. It's a waste of her energy. It's a waste of her time. And I don't want to do that to my mama. That's not nice. That's not fine. That's not good. That's not like, and I kept telling her, nah, it's okay. I'll get it tomorrow. No, I don't need it. I'm not in a rush. I can try again on another day. She insisted. She said, if I don't hear from you, whether or not you got it by 3 o'clock, I'm going to go get it. And she did. And I cannot even begin to tell you how much better that made my day. That despite my objections over her gas, over her time, over her effort. She chose for herself. And a lot of us get into a space where we're trying to choose for people. You don't ask because you chose for them. You don't accept help because you've already chosen for them. Let me remind you that you don't know anybody's answer. You don't know anybody's offering. You don't know anybody's space unless you ask. And it is not your place to tell yourself no on their behalf. If they don't do it, you don't do it. Allow them to tell you no. Trust them. And if that means that you also have to learn to trust yourself, to be honest in your answers, in your yeses and in your nos, do that too. Because that is a part of the book that I was talking about. In Drink Water, Mind Your Business, I talk about the joy of hearing and offering no. I talk about that space of being able to be boundaried that way in chapter 7, becoming Bob the Builder of Boundaries. I would say go ahead and visit that. And maybe that's a conversation that we can also have. But the point is, building up the skill sets, the multiple skill sets in asking for help and accepting help is something that can help you in the long run. Make sure that you're not burning out for no good reason at all. And it's one that this hypocritical therapist also is still learning, a lesson that keeps coming round and round and round again. Anyway, tell me in the comments, friend, are you a person that tends to need a little bit more push, a little bit more kick, a little bit more dragging across that line of accepting help or asking for help? This inquiring mind would like to know. And I will see you in tomorrow, because this is the Daily Donna. I am Dr. Donna, and we have our conversations with a therapeutic edge every day. All right, I'll see you then. Bye.